Yes guys, how are we all doing? Welcome back to another video. Welcome to the George Benson football channel. Starting the video from the phone today, we have got some big news stories, we've got some dilemmas, we've got some discussions to be had about Chelsea upcoming transfer business. Why aren't things done yet? Before we get into that though, I do want to point you guys in the direction of the description to this week's episode of Last Fan Standing. You guys know I'm usually on the show. This week I wasn't, but we're discussing what does Erling Haaland have to do to become a Manchester City legend. In my opinion, he's got to win the Champions League. But here's what they had to say.
He's already lining up his next move to Real Madrid. And it'll probably be a messy departure. So would that not affect his status as a legend?
This is the thing, is how good does he need to do in how short amount of time?
Well, he needs to lead the team to a Champions League trophy, let's be real, right? He's not going to be there long enough to get more Premier Leagues than Sergio Aguero.
So make sure you go and check the link in the description down below. Watch the full episode of Last Fan Standing. Brilliant show. I'll be back on again this coming week, so stay tuned for that. Link is in the description. It is Saturday. Chelsea still haven't confirmed any signings, but, it sounds as if I'm concerned. It's not really concerning to the point of, is it actually going to happen? It's more of like, we want to breathe a sigh of relief when it is confirmed that players become Chelsea players. When we see the here we go, that's when we know that we can start to get excited with a little bit less trepidation, I think the word is. If you're not yet subscribed to this YouTube channel, I would love to ask you to do so. I'm back trying to upload every single day, at least once, to give you guys my thoughts on all of the latest Chelsea news. And if you don't have Twitter or read the news or watch the news, then maybe I can be your source of information. Not that I find things out, I just let other people find them out and then talk about them myself. But if that sounds like it's for you, make sure you're subscribed. Today, we're going to talk Mattijs De Ligt, the updates with that, Nathan Ake, Raheem Sterling, will he make it in time, signing-wise, to join his teammates in America? We're also going to talk a little bit about Hakim Ziyech and how Ousmane Dembele's new contract offer from Barcelona opens the door for Chelsea's move for Raphinha. First of all, let's talk a little bit about Mattijs De Ligt. It was reported by Di Marzio that Juventus won 125 million euros, but would likely accept 80 million euros. That's like me saying, for my job, yeah? I'd love to make £1 million a video on this channel, but I'll settle for 250, 300. It's like, come on, you want 125 million? What's the point in even expressing this when you're willing to accept 80 million? Enough of my sarcastic, very average banter aside. At the moment, it is just awaiting bids from Bayern Munich and Chelsea. Both Bayern and Chelsea are the two clubs in for De Ligt. There was talk that Manchester United may also be interested, but by the time they actually get the pen out of their pocket to sign a cheque, it will probably be November, where the transfer window is in fact closed. Mattijs De Ligt, Chelsea will have to make the bid. The question is, will we be willing to offer Juventus the 80 million euros that they want for the Dutch defender? Speaking about Dutch defenders, this is probably the most positive news of the video today. Nathan Ake has agreed personal terms with Chelsea. It was reported by Fabrizio Romano. You guys can see the tweet on the screen. This is a good sign. It's a good start to this potential deal. The issue is Chelsea still haven't submitted the bid to Manchester City. I don't know what is taking us so long at the moment because, like I say, we can't really get too excited about anything because there are two key fundamental parts of every single transfer: personal terms with the player and the bid that needs to be accepted by the selling club. Chelsea haven't offered Manchester City the 45 million, then how can we get all worked up about Nathan Ake coming back? There are two things with this one. I think 40 million, a lot of people think that this is a lot of money, but Nathan Ake is a very good centre-back. He plays naturally in the one position that we desperately need to improve to try and replace Tony Rudiger. Do I think that it's frustrating that we're probably going to offer these new players, new defenders, massive contracts, but for whatever reason we couldn't offer Rudiger, who is world-class, right at the top of the defending game? We couldn't offer this guy the money, but we can go out and spend 40 million on a player who we used to own. It is kind of frustrating. You see Mark Gurhey's go to Crystal Palace and do well. Tomori's go to AC Milan. I have to bring it up because it does kind of put a cloud over any kind of deal that we get, because then when you look at what Chelsea are having to spend on centre-backs, it's probably going to be in excess of 100 million to replace the players that have already left, or maybe even Azpilicueta. There's still negotiations going on with Barcelona. Maybe Azpi's going to leave as well, which would certainly open the door for Levi Colwill, as we said a few videos ago. But Ake has agreed personal terms. I think he's a very, very good player. Perfect fit for that left centre-back role. And if we get Mattijs De Ligt as well, then we're looking there at a very, very strong back line. De Ligt, Silva, Ake. I think that is more than good enough for Chelsea to be very competitive in the Premier League. We move into the story around Hakim Ziyech. Now, there were times last season where Ziyech would enter these patches of brilliance, but the patches are so few and far between, and they don't last very long, either because he has a very average game, or Tuchel would drop him, or the man would get injured. So Hakim Ziyech leaving Chelsea, as much as there were times last season where I was like, I really want this guy to stay, he has now ended the working relationship with his agent. I think his name is Mustafa Nakali or something like that. He's left him after 12 years of working with him, similar to what Romelu Lukaku did with his agent. So Hakim Ziyech is now going to be dealing with his own negotiations. What this tells us is when he makes a move like that and makes an announcement, it basically means that Hakim Ziyech is confirming that this summer he's going to have to be doing some negotiations for himself, because he's going to be leaving Chelsea. Now, the issue we have here is we spent 40 million on him. Yes, he's a Champions League winner. Yes, he scored one of the best goals we've scored ever against Spurs. Not the best one, but it's one of. It's up there. Top 20 goals. But it's one of those transfers where he just doesn't fit in a Premier League style. He doesn't really fit in a Thomas Tuchel style. Chelsea are probably going to get 20, 25 million for Hakim Ziyech. So yes, we make a loss. Yes, we've had some exciting moments from the player. But overall, it's been underwhelming. And I think that now that Ziyech has confirmed that he's leaving his agent, he's going to be dealing with things by himself, we can pretty much guarantee that he's going to be leaving Chelsea this summer. We move into the story, or the mystery, should we say, around Raheem Sterling. I've seen many people creating conspiracies online that it's funny how Chelsea agree at everything, personal terms, City are happy with the fee, but where's the player? Raheem Sterling has been on holiday. He's been in Jamaica, having a wonderful time. Well, I guess he's having a good time, otherwise he'd come back after a couple of days. Raheem Sterling, the issue at the moment is, will he join the Chelsea team on their pre-season tour of America? There isn't any concerns right now that this deal is going to fall through. Yes, if this deal falls through, I'm going to start creating my own conspiracies about, like, are we actually ever going to sign anybody? And then it'll come to the end of August and we'll be like, just didn't work out really, did it? Whilst Todd Bowley's pockets remain full of cash. Raheem Sterling, at the moment, doesn't look like he is going to be joining the squad. This isn't a massive deal, because I think Sterling will integrate very quickly. There's a lot of players he already knows from the England team. He is a professional. He's been at City for a long time, very successful. So I don't think there's anything to worry about, but it looks as though Sterling will not be joining the rest of the team in the USA. So bit of a shame, but the final story of the day, this one is interesting because it is reported that Barcelona have made an offer to Ousmane Dembele, one of Chelsea's targets, for a new deal. Dembele, it's not going to be the kind of deal that he wanted. However, Barcelona want to keep him. Right now, he's a free agent with no club, so he's not currently a Barcelona player. But Barcelona are confident that Dembele will accept this new deal. The knock-on effect of this, and the dilemma here, because no one really knows any truth right now about Barcelona. There is so much ambiguity with the news surrounding Barcelona. If Dembele signs this new deal, how can they possibly afford to sign Raphinha as well? The issue with what Barcelona are doing with Raphinha is that Leeds want to honour the accepted offer that Chelsea made. Raphinha, personal terms with Chelsea, isn't really a problem, but he wants to go to Barcelona. Meanwhile, Barcelona are offering Dembele a new contract, which basically means that Raphinha will look at this and think, well, maybe I'm second choice at Barcelona, so why don't I just say yes to go into Chelsea? It is such a weird dynamic with this little transfer square, I guess you could say. You got Barcelona, Dembele, Raphinha, Chelsea, and there's lines going to each and every one of them, connecting them somehow. Gonna make a prediction here. As much as I feel like we lost Raphinha, the fact that Barcelona haven't managed to match Chelsea's offer, which means that Leeds are not willing to accept it, I can fully see Dembele signing a new Barcelona deal, Chelsea get Raphinha. And I think that would be amazing. Having Raphinha and Sterling, as well as the centre-back targets coming through the door, which I strongly believe we still get. We're linked with Koulibaly, linked with De Ligt, linked with Kimpembe. Ake's agreed personal terms. That one's probably going to go through. So, yeah, exciting times. There are a few like, where is it? What is it? Can we just get an announcement of something, please? Can we see Raheem holding up a Chelsea shirt? Still waiting for defenders. That is the nature of our football club. But anyway, if you did enjoy this Chelsea news video, make sure to hit the like button, subscribe to GBFC if you are new, turn on the bell notifications. Come on, you Blues.